Space is massive. No, seriously, it's huge. The illustrations in the textbooks are misleading. Take our solar system, for example. Itself an otherwise insignificant speck in the cosmos, about as important, comparatively speaking, as Ted Robbins' career is to the world of light entertainment. On a scale where the Earth and the Moon were shrunk down to the size of Ian Duncan Smith's gonads, the distance to Pluto, is about as big as George Osborne's withered chin, would be roughly 10 miles. That's 10 whole miles of nothingness, except for the occasional ping-pong ball-sized planet and a sprinkling of dandruff for asteroids. And that's not even the edge. The distance to Pluto is only 1/50,000th of the overall distance to the outer reaches of our solar system. It puts a tram journey to Lytham-Solans into perspective, doesn't it? Pluto lies in the Kuiper belt. Beyond that streams the Oort cloud, a realm of dust and rogue comets too distant to care about proper orbits or life-sustaining properties, or even strictly come dancing, come to that. And beyond the solar system, space really starts to get vast, so indescribably massive that radiation from the edge of the universe, where Lawrence and Polly are currently trapped inside the Great Projector, takes trillions of light years to reach us, which begs the question, how did the Pepper Potts manage to get there so quickly?
Cool, that narrator doesn't have to go on, doesn't he?
Yes, I can understand why Jeannie McIntosh thinks his stuff is boring now. I should have gone to the bog before he started. Anyhow, time for a quick recap for the benefit of whatever listener we have left. It seems we're still stuck in the Great Projector on the edge of the universe, being attacked by our rabid pepperpots. Better crank my handle round on that reality dial, Polly, me sack of mutton dressed as offal. Let's find a more appropriate setting.
What about this one? A universe in which Katie Hopkins is a poverty-stricken, disabled Muslim refugee with hemorrhoids round the mouth to shut her up.
Tempting, but we could do with something that would sort out our more immediate problems, really, before a pepper bomb lands on our heads and we end up more inside out than one of the Lloyd Webber brothers.
How about a universe with a massive pepper pot-proof wall in it?
Does the Pope shit in the woods? Put your fat crinkle back into it. Excellent. That appears to have done the trick. A bit contrived, perhaps, but at least it gets us out of that pathetic cliffhanger.
The Lawrence Pendlebury Audio Adventures, the series finale, Annihilation.
This is the final episode. The juxtaposed crap and bone. The scripts have started growing bold. The actors won't do what they're told, and Terry Sedgwick is just...
By Frank Boff's red shiny bottom, what the bastard's going on?
Shut it, you slag. Inspector Tamworth's the name, and this is what's known in the parlance as the Flying Uniform Constabulary for confiscating offshore fiscal funds. Or fuck off for short. And we haven't had our breakfast. Sergeant Harper, get your thumb out your posterior rectum and confiscate that manky gramophone.
Right, Gov.
I said confiscate it, Harper, not obliterate it. That was obviously an ancient, antiquated antique. It could have brought us a few ponies on the old copper kettle for the policeman's bollock. Nah, me old muck spreader, working on the assumption that you is a human being and not some shriveled spider monkey. The Conservative government, what is in charge of us, has asked us to inquire into an investigative investigation regarding vis-a-vis some suspiciously dodgy accounts what have allegedly been set up by Mr. Lord Sir Ashcroft under the assumed plum de nom of vis-a-vis Clockwork Coconut Productions.
I've no idea what you're talking about, and not just because of your dreadful grammar neither. I just sing these cruddy lyrics to the opening credits. I don't know nothing about any offshore money laundering scam using Osborne and Smallcock's creative accounting services as convenient cover.
We'll see about that, Sergeant Harper. Take this horrible little turd down to the cells vis-a-vis the outside lavatory for a thorough debriefing conducted in an orderly manner with your truncheon and your hobnail boots. And bring that half-eaten sausage buttock. I'm hungry under the mouse in Eric Pickle's pantry, you fat old slag.
What about me? I quite fancied the idea of handcuffs. Now, at about this juncture, no doubt, the listener is wondering how it was that the twatter could cross interstellar distances and deftly maneuver through time against all the known laws of physics. Then again, perhaps they're not. Well, I have been advised by our scientific advisor, Fred Scroton, the Clockwork Coconut Productions janitor, that the twatter's engines utilized the properties of latently observed photons in modified versions of the double-slit experiment, in which said photons appeared to communicate with earlier versions of themselves. Which leads us onto the knotty problem of quantum entanglement, where the aforementioned communication between entangled particles over enormous distances clearly violates Einstein's theory of relativity, the information being exchanged reaching velocities far in excess of the speed of light. The Twatter's engines, however, recognise that information in itself has no actual mass.
Here's another one, Harper. Slap the cuff on it and bang that bastard to rights. Got any Sarlies in here, you disgusting cheeky strangler? No? Well, I'm having that half-finished coffee in the old China. I'm as parched as a mummy's sock.
On earth, I'm in the middle of something extremely important.
Shut it, you bearded bitch. You're coming with us, me old teapot.
We've been given the thumbs up from Norris McWhirter. The stunt Tory warthog has actually done it. It's a record 49-pounder, apparently, with the mass of a small black hole from which, coincidentally, it's just been squeezed. This is an incredible accomplishment in bowl evacuation, ladies and gentlemen. The toilet bowl is cracked beyond redemption, and the fat lady is singing, with which we'll hand you back to whatever's left of the plot.
Well, as far as we can work out, the only person still listening to this rubbish is Isaac Stokes, and we're not entirely sure about him. He might just be nicking the sound effects for his own projects, as far as we know.
Lawrence, how come the recording light's on? I didn't hear the narrator's cue.
So, Polly, the fat old slag. Now that we've sorted the pepper pots out, have you decided what desktop theme to go for? We've been stuck here for 4 bloody episodes now. This story's turning out to be longer than Fatty Arbuckle's codpiece.
How about something around the middle of the dial? Middle Earth, for example.
Yeah, why not? I've got a suspicion, given the fact that this is the final episode, it's not going to matter much anyhow.
Right. We appear to be in the Ribble Valley, Lancashire. It's all wooded with steep sides and lots of sheep and bees and stuff, which conveniently means that we don't have to turn the sound effect record over.
Ah, of course, Middle Earth. Tolkien wrote the first part of The Lord of the Rings at Stonehurst College, Polly distended seek out. The Shire is based on this neck of the woods. It's surprising how often Lancashire's been used in fantasy literature. The island of Sodor from Thomas the Tank Engine's meant to be in Morecambe Bay. Mervyn Peake based Gormenghast on Lancaster Castle, you know. Wrote Titus Groan on North Pier, apparently, which explains a lot. Terry Pratchett based Lancre on Lancaster as well. Then, of course, there's always this crap.
No wonder we've got no listeners. Nobody gives a stuff, Lawrence. You're getting more boring than John Major's cricketing anecdotes. What's more important, although not by much, is that there's a wizard with a scruffy beard wearing a beige robe, sandals, and a bent hat, blowing smoke rings from an ornamental pipe, approaching on a rickety cart. It must be called in the beige.
Why, if it isn't Master Pendlebury, Schmuck and Mistress Spam Gangrene. How many years has it been? 80 or 90, judging by the creases in your neck. Not that it matters. We have important work to attend to. The dark blue armies of Cameron are gathering in Panama. There's an ill wind blowing across Middle England, mainly from Boris Johnson. Have you still got that cock ring you stole from the pepper pots in episode 1?
What cock ring?
Bollocks! I suspected as much. I told the idiots not to edit that scene out. The producer complained because it meant that the episode was too long to fit on YouTube. I argued, of course, but he insisted that some pathetic rude joke about mispronouncing Jeremy Hunt's name was more important. Childish bastard. Now it just sounds like as if we're making this up as we go along.
We are.
That's what happens when you let managerial staff interfere with the scripts. Well, we're stuffed. This plot's deader than the likelihood of Cyrus Smith's posthumous knighthood. You might as well sit here twiddling your thumbs, or in Miss Gangrene's case, toes, for the next 10 minutes. The series is ending anyhow. I doubt very much they'll be commissioning another. Giddy up, sugar!
Bugger, I really must stop putting Christopher Biggins into the mix. I'm sure that just one planet could survive without the talentless Kitchen, says Lardass, no matter what he reckons.
Lord Yahweh Jehovah Christmas Jesus Humphrey Bud of God.
What's it to you, you irritating ship's
It's
willet?
Inspector Tamworth to you, sir, and I'll tell you what it is to me, old squire. According to received information, what we've had received, you own the entirety of the universe, being that the whole of space and time and everything, and you haven't paid a penny in tax since 5137 BC.
Of course not. I'm God, you mustachioed bullbag.
Sergeant Harper, the cattle prop.
You can't arrest me, you insignificant fleck of sputum. I'm the most powerful being in... Oh, it's my big toe. Damn it, stop that. I'll set my avenging angels onto you.
Don't even think about resisting arrest, you stag. I'd have it sideways with Mrs. Lady Dane, Judy Dench's cucumber. That bleeding cake's enormous. Got any normal sized cutlery?
Thank insert non-denominational deity of choice for that. We finally escaped from the great projector. I thought we'd never get out. Terry Waite's been sending me Christmas cards. Now perhaps we can continue with the rest of the series.
What setting did you choose in the end? She asked, expecting something with much less potential than originally hoped.
I didn't. I discovered we could reverse reality by moving Mickey Mouse's hands on the clock face backwards over his bollocks. We're returning to before we ruptured the temporal sphere. Way before. Episode 1 of the original series, in fact. I intend to stop our previous selves before we do anything stupid. Well, more stupid than not.
Are you sure that's a good idea, Lawrence? This is starting to sound rather familiar.
It's going to sound even more familiar in a moment, Polly, me old bolus of ambergris. The twatter's about to dematerialise inside itself. Stick this blanket over your head and hold your breath. And for God's sakes, put some clothes on.
Yeah, I forgot that I'm still in the nuddy. So, assuming it works, and given that we've got the whole of the universe to explore, where are we going to start?
Wheaton, Lancashire, 1914. Not exactly Orion's belt, I know, but this being our inaugural flight, I thought it best not to get stranded on some planet constructed out of chipboard and glitter. That would be like spending eternity trapped in a Bonnie Langford show. Take a look at this. It's
The Twatter's console sounded different in those days.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention when we started Series 2. But the recording's a bit rubbish as well because I haven't discovered the noise reduction button.
The standard of the jokes hasn't changed much, though.
What the fuck? You're pickling down my leg, Boris, you massive Nazi duffelcoat.
Lovely jubbly. It's the trickle effect in action, you squeaky bomb bandit. What you gonna do about it, you pompous saddleback porker?
I say, that's just not cricket. Some grotty underachieving oik has clamped my horse, and they sprayed an anatomically incorrect penis on his buttock.
Have I got the dubious dishonour of addressing pesticide wart fanny and twat, otherwise known as vis-a-vis the four arsehole stroke rectum to the apostrophe stroke semicolon?
What's it to you, you crumpled plebeian?
You're under arrest is what it is, you horrible mythical toe rags, for the dishonourable evasion of tax avoidance and corrupt accounting via circumventing the illegal offshore scam what's better known in the parlance as Clockwork Coconut Productions. And I haven't had my lunch. I hate your sort, stack-up knobs. You think you're better than us with your Italian moribunds and buttered crumpets and secret knob shakes and... Oh, Mr. Cameron, what a surprise meeting you here, sir. Oh, Lord Osborne there. Right, that's enough, lads. We shan't be going disturbing these fine what is upstanding vis-a-vis gentlemen any more tonight.
A wise move, Inspector Tamworth. Tell me, how's your delicious wife, the former Miss Rosie Holdspot?
Still dead, sir, although her head's available vis-a-vis whenever you need to stick your willy in it, just so long as you remove the apple first.
Thank Donald Trump for that. I thought the fat old biddies were never gonna bugger off.
One of those fat old biddies used to be you, Lawrence. To be honest, I preferred you back then. The viewing figures were better and all. So, what's the plan?
Well, whilst Jumbo and Mumphy are out dealing with the hairy pocket, I'm going to remove the overhead camshaft connecting the ant formation to the two-dimensional sump router. Hopefully this should delay their our takeoff long enough to curtail their meeting with Father Cassock and prevent the fabric of the universe.
Laura stroke Lawrence Pendlebury, you're under arrest for tampering with temporal time mechanical physics, you transsexual curly-haired top-hatted transvestite cream puff. And you, Miss Polynesia Hyacinth Bloodwind Judas Jenkins, the nick for being large and naked in an offensive child-unfriendly public manner. Get him down the pigsty, Harper, and dismantle this pathetic telephone box for God's sakes. It's made of cardboard and a wheelchair engine parts. What's all this crap? Who are you with a knackersack? Not anymore, you're not, you snivelling goat, you bleeding Nick Redhead. You can shut that fucking racket off and all and get rid of that annoying blue arsehole effect, it's making me sick.